Part 3 of the series on the Gamkaskloof Road covers the section from the 18.5 kilometer to the 23.6 kilometer mark. In this part, we delve into some of the history of the Gamkaskloof. Anaki Jaber is the last of the true Kloofers who chose not to sell the family farm to set up the facilities at Fonteinplaas as you see them today. Take the time to chat to his son Piet Jaber, commonly known as Roipit for his long ginger beard. He's something of an historian and has already published his first book about the hell. He will straighten the facts and the very many urban legends that have developed around this strange and isolated kloof. Only two footpaths were used to enter the valley from the north. One was through the Gamka River Kloof, whilst the other was over the top of the mountain. The self-named Kloofers, or canyon dwellers, on rare occasions made their way up the riverbed to Gatplaas, the previous name of Karlitsdorp, to trade their produce. This was a tiring and tough journey and was dependent on low water levels. In the 1960s, when the Gamkapoort Dam was constructed, it blocked this path off completely for the Kloofers at the narrow point where the wall was built. A short right-hand S-bend takes the road through a small side ravine, then very quickly enters a second side ravine via a sharp right-hand bend. As the road exits this ravine, at the apex of the left-hand exit curve, there's a very large rock right next to the road. This is signposted as Oomkosse Klip. During the construction of the road, this chunk of rock proved too formidable an obstacle for the big bulldozer, controlled by the larger-than-life character of Koos van Zyl, the foreman in charge of the road construction at the time. Not one to give up on a challenge, the rock proved to be the bulldozer's nemesis and refused to budge. The road had to be slightly modified from the engineer's lines by skirting the rock on its southern side. The other route out of the kloof for the Kloofers was a few kilometers further west, over a very steep footpath with many switchbacks up an almost vertical cliff. This route was known as Die Leer, or the ladder, and was even too steep for mules to traverse. At the 16.5 kilometer point, the road swings through a wide left-hand curve into a big side ravine, which signals the start of the second small pass, which is labelled as the Kangoberg Pass. The kloof narrows again at this point as the road swings away into the south. One gets a perfect view of the Kangoberg from this vantage point as the road bends consistently to the left until the heading is into the southeast. This little pass is very attractive, with some built-up retaining walls which prop the road up as it head towards the stream, forming the ravine from the south. The final bend is a very sharp right-hand hairpin of 160 degrees and the small concrete single-width bridge is crossed. If you need to fill your water bottles or just take a breather, this is a great spot with some parking on the far side of the bridge. The stream has potable water in it for most times of the year. Gamkaskloof has many stories written into its folklore, and one of these is that a born and bred Klover, Gustav Neft, once lugged a Dover coal stove strapped to his back from Prince Albert to the kloof via De Leer, a feat of extraordinary strength and endurance. The roads engineer Louis de Blanche, who designed the road, lamented that he was saddened that this was the only road that he designed which had brought about the destruction rather than the upliftment of a once thriving community. A long and fertile valley cuts through the mountains along the east-west axis. There are various accounts of the length of this valley. As the crow flies, it measures 12 kilometers from the Kamkas river to the base of the Elands Pass. This was the original Gamkaskloof farm, which was granted to Petrus Swanepoel in 1841. The Boer commando leader Deneys Reitz entered the valley in 1901 during the Anglo-Boer War whilst attempting to evade the British forces. He wrote an interesting account of their short visit. As we approached the huts, a shaggy giant in goatskins appeared and spoke to us in a strained outlandish Dutch. He was a white man named Cordier who lived in this valley with his wife and a brood of half-wild children in complete isolation of the outside world. We were received with uncouth but sincere hospitality and applied ourselves to the goat's meat, milk and wild honey that was placed before us. He told us that no British forces had ever penetrated the valley and that we were the first Boers to do so. Gamkaskloof is a hybrid name combining the Gamka, the Khoisan word for lion, and kloof, the Afrikaans word for valley. The Gamkaskloof was discovered in the early 19th century by farmers, but the first permanent resident was Mr. Pieter Swanepoel, who settled in the valley in the 1830s. Some time later, the Marais, Cordier, and Joubert, Null and Mostert families settled in the valley, growing to a community of around 160 people. The residents used donkeys and travelled by foot across the Swartberg Mountains to reach Prince Albert and Karlitstorp. Later, a school was established with a teacher also leading the Sunday church. The settlers farmed grain, vegetables, fruits, tea and tobacco. They also distilled witblits and brewed beer from wild honey. For many years, the residents of the Kloof petitioned the South African government to build a road into the valley. In 1962, the requested road was completed. Ironically, this led to the depopulation of the community, with the local children attending high schools in the nearby villages and most of them refusing to return to the life of subsistence farming in the valley. The elderly residents retired to retirement villages outside of the valley, with the number of permanent residents diminishing steadily. Eventually, all homes except one were sold to the Western Cape Nature Conservation Board, with the last sale taking place in 1991. Gamkaskloof Valley was declared a national monument in 1997 and was subsequently included into the Swartberg Nature Reserve. Many of the old cottages were renovated by Cape Nature, adding hot water by gas and solar power for lighting. This allowed tourism to blossom in the Kloof, as visitors could personally experience the isolation and quiet of this beautiful valley. After the fires in 2019, many of the facilities were damaged, resulting in Cape Nature closing everything down. Currently, Piet Joubert is put in office to buy what's left of the cottages in order to rehabilitate them. first car ever to drive the lower valley was a Morris 8, which was manhandled via the Gamkaskloof in 1958. This was quite a novelty for the little community. Eventually the car stopped running. Its rusted bodywork can still be seen at Fonteinplaas, its last resting place. There are several accommodation options in the kloof, the first being at Fonteinplaas, which has several old and new cottages as well as a very nice campsite. Other self-catering options exist further towards the Kamkas River at Boerplaas Cottages, Mikey's Vlei Guest Farm and the old schoolhouse. Don't miss part 4 of the Gamkaskloof series.